What's happening?
We make it bubble, man. I don't want no trouble, man. I'm just here to flow and make it rock like a Nuggets fan. Heard you sold a couple grand, dog, I'm still struggling. Yes, I got a couple fans, got a lot of love for them. Gotta make it dumb for them. Brothers just don't understand. That's the life of Brother Rain. Microphone in one hand, conscious on the other hand. Tell a leader love him, man. But the fans want to jam. Hooked up some Mega Man.
You're listening to League Podcast, episode 298. I'm Matt Thurston.
I'm Clay Inferno.
And we have another awesome special guest. Like, very special, way overdue. Mega Ran is here with us.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up? Thanks for coming on, man.
No problem, man. I appreciate what you guys do with the League Podcast, and I'm glad to finally be able to sit down with you guys.
Yeah. Well, we're glad to have you, man. We had Lars on last week, so now it's like the other half of the dynamic duo. Yeah.
I like the tour art with the Beavis and Butthead. It's really funny.
Yeah, it came out really well. That was brilliant. One of our friends hooked that up, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is so great!"
Yeah, that's really cool. So yeah, we've been doing shows for a while.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, what's going on with you were just at PAX South? How was that?
Yes, I was. It was my first time at PAX South. It was great. I feel like it's, about as, just as exciting as all the other PAX events, but I feel like it's a lot more laid back, which is cool. They're in a huge, convention center that just had a renovation expansion. And so it's so big, that it makes the actual PAX floor look small,
Right.
And so I think for that reason, it's a little less intimidating kind of than Boston can be for some people, or the one in Seattle can be for some folks. So it's a lot more laid back, and I think that is great. There's a great place for that. I mean, the indie section was where I spent most of my time, so that was fun. They had cool things like little podcasting centers, like game streaming centers. Of course, really good panels, and the concerts were awesome.
Of course.
Of course. Conspicuously missing was MC Front a lot, and I was a little sad about that. I didn't get to see Front. And so there wasn't like necessarily any nerd rap, represented on the stage. But I know that won't be the case for all of them. So I know that's one thing. But I did get to see some of my favorite bands play, so it was a great time.
Did you end up performing like an after party or something, or?
I did. We did an after party downtown San Antonio, which came out really great.
Nice.
It was a lot of fun. Me and a rapper that I'm a big fan of, Mers, played the show.
Oh, he's the best.
And he's so amazing. So he was already there. He's been big on Twitch streaming this year, so he's been coming out to a lot of the events. And so he was nice enough to.
He was at PAX East last year, like just sitting on the floor, and people were like, "Hey, I think that's Mers over there." It was really funny. He was just hanging out.
I love the fact that seeing my worlds kind of collide, in this is really what I dreamed of. It's what I thought of when I first, kind of got into the scene. I was like, man, there's a lot of other hip hop folks who are into gaming like I am, so it's just a matter of getting them exposed to this really awesome world out here, and and trying to flip the scene a little bit, and that's it's kind of sort of happening a little.
I think that your record did a lot for that too. With the random record, you had a lot of good guests on there, and you're just able to merge sort of two worlds without excluding anyone.
That's really what I've always tried to do. I feel like these are two huge parts of me, the hip hop culture and the gaming culture. So why do they have to exist so separately? And for the past like 10 years or so, they have been. I'd be like, oh, I go with my rap buddies to a rap show, and I go with my gamer buddies to a gamer event. But now I'm like, we can all go to the same events and have fun. So I think it's great, and that's really what I wanted to do with the random album. that I put out, is try to merge those worlds. So there's chiptune guys like D&D Sluggers, as well as hip hop guys like Murs, all in the same record, to just to hopefully try to merge those worlds. And I'm just trying to do my part. That's all.
Well, yeah, I think I read that you coined the phrase chip hop.
Yeah.
That's
I heard it somewhere, and I think that someone, I guess, gave it to me. Was like, what you're doing is kind of chip hop, and I was like, I like that. So it's chip
I'm taking it.
Game Boy NES music, with hip hop drums, hip hop patterns, and yeah, I think that's I've been able to embrace that. And I mean, at the same time, I feel like we have enough subgenres. So I mean, if people want to call it nerdcore or nerd rap or nerd music or
just hip hop
or hip hop, I've heard Nintendo core. I mean, there's so many things, and so you could just call it hip hop. At its root, it's hip hop music inspired by all the fun stuff like video games and comics.
And we were talking a little bit with Lars last week because it seems like he was teasing us a little bit about your Watchmen project and comics, and also comics are, it's obviously what we do here. Comics a big influence on you, and but then we were also talking about Daryl DMC, he's like the godfather of hip hop and like almost the godfather of like nerdcore rap too. I mean, he was really into Spider-Man and would work that stuff in there too a little bit. So it's all just music, man.
Absolutely.
It's all just love.
It's all music, and I feel like those things, as the more you study and explore, you'll see that there's so many links and tie-ins. I would say Wu-Tang Clan is probably the first to popularize being a nerd in hip hop. I mean, that very first song, I mean, it was swinging through your town like your neighborhood Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And they all had, aliases.
Yeah, Tony
Johnny
Starks.
Blaze and Tony Starks. Like, everyone was a comic book character. So, like, it was nerd rap, but it was okay, like no one even called it that or thought about that. So there's been ties for as long as a lot of folks can. You can go back as far as hip-hop history, and you can find stuff.
No, that's great. Now I want to talk. Speaking of history, quick history lesson. So you were a teacher.
Correct. I was a teacher.
And middle school, right?
People say I still teach now, but I'm no classroom. I teach student speakers now. But yes, I taught middle school in Philly and then later in Phoenix. I also did an alternative specialty school where I taught higher functioning autistic kids for about 3 years. And then, I've been all across the gamut of children, but mostly middle school has been my age, like preteens to teens. I feel like since they're at a higher functioning level, I can usually get through to them a little easier, being that I relate on video game, comic, anime levels with them, as well as just being able, I think for kids that age, when they can understand sarcasm and humor, I think that I work better with those ages.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, I enjoyed it and I learned a lot. I learned probably more about performing and playing shows and doing those effectively from teaching. I feel like it's just a lot of the same elements and aspects from teaching that can go into making a great performance happen.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, standing up in front of a whole class, I mean, you're kind of performing, so.
Yeah, you're right. You have to be completely, up and excited about everything you're doing.
You're right.
And you got to perform. You got to make those kids believe you, and it's the same thing on a stage. They have to believe that you know what you're doing, even if you don't.
And one of the cool things I read too in your bio here is so Capcom was totally they were totally down. They gave you their blessing when you.
Yeah, that was a big weird part of the story. It's like I wasn't necessarily expecting that, but I started off doing things. I think in the hip hop kind of vein of the approach of making stuff is like, you sample things. You're very blatantly and directly affected by certain things, so therefore you use those into your influences to make something new. And that's what I did with video games and sounds. And so I started using some of Capcom sounds, and they found out about it, and I thought they were ready to, drop the hammer down and sue me. But they were like,
Did you get a phone call?
Well, it didn't quite happen like I do it on stage, but on stage I dramatized it a little bit, like I had a phone call. But it was actually a MySpace message, and the guy had like a big C as his profile picture, and the title was like R.E., the Mega Man rap album. And I'm like, oh boy, this sounds really serious. And so in the message, he's like, don't worry, this isn't a cease and desist. We actually just wanted to tell you that we like it, and we want to know how we can work with you, because people are really enjoying it online. And it's classy, it's well done. It was Mega Man's 20th anniversary.
Nice.
And so it just worked out. It was great timing, great PR for them. And so therefore they're like, man, this can't hurt us. This can only help. And so I think they were, because of that, really willing to partner up on it. And that's not something I ever set out to accomplish. I didn't think they would ever find out about it.
Right.
So yeah, that was cool. But it also taught me a lesson that not to, just to be careful with other people's, copyrighted material. So now I do contact anybody when I use their stuff, because we're at a point where we have a lot more to lose. So it's anytime you're messing with someone else's content, they have the right at any time to come and snatch that back, So you got to be careful.
Yeah, well, that's awesome though that they were like, no, we like it. It's classy. I like that it wasn't like you were ripping them apart or anything. You were like,
right. It wasn't like I was ripping them apart or making them into really vulgar, terrible stories, or overly violent or sexist stuff. But it was just fun hip hop tracks, and building a story around these characters that I had seen for so many years. And they appreciated it, looked at it as fan art, and were willing to invite me out to San Diego Comic-Con.
Oh, no way. It's awesome.
Yeah, and that was amazing. It's my first time there, and it was just a blast, and being able to do that. It's not even a goal that I would ever set for myself, It's like, one day I want Capcom to hear my music and bring me to Comic-Con.
And make me a custom arm cannon or something.
Yeah, a custom arm cannon. Oh, that would be great. But but now I think kids, can now set those kind of goals. Like, maybe I'll make a project about the thing I love, and maybe someone will tweet it to them, and they'll find it, and they'll enjoy it, and they'll share it with other people. It's so strange that now that is a very real possibility when you create something that's done well, that someone could see it in a tweet and then share it with the world, So it's crazy to see how far in just the 10 years since I've released the Mega Man project, how far things have come, as far as like being viral and having the ability to go viral. It's pretty crazy.
And then that translates into live shows and or a goal, even like you said, for some kids, like to have a good podcast or a YouTube channel, and then be able to sell out like a huge room, whereas people wouldn't have known about them at all.
Absolutely. So now it makes it's funny. I have a friend who looks at it as kind of being lazy, just because it's a different world now where you don't have to hit the streets per se. With
you're not out there selling $5 CDs on the block.
Yeah, you're not like you dragging people down to get a CD. You're just like, I'll just put it on YouTube and boom, and just watch it happen. But
put a link up on Facebook or whatever, or Twitter, like you said, and there it goes.
And it's a crazy thing, but I feel like at some point that bubble will burst. But I feel like now, and even now, I mean, a lot of the YouTubers that have been great in the past have probably seen their numbers drop recently. I've been hearing about a lot of YouTube algorithm things that are slowly, catching the game up for other people and slowing it down for the big guys. So nothing lasts forever. It's just about being able to adapt to the times. And that's really what it's all about, especially with hip hop being such a grassroots, in your face, street level, art form. And now for it to go online is in another world, and so just staying on top of that stuff can lead to some sort of success somewhere.
Yeah, definitely. Well, so we should mention, we haven't mentioned this yet, but you're going to be here in Boston March 1st.
Yes, March 1st. I'm so excited. I have Boston's probably my favorite place to play, and
Oh,
so
that's
I'm
awesome.
really looking forward to it. It's always a lot of love there. A lot of just great people who understand the culture and get the references and can come out and have a good time, even if they don't get the references. So it's probably my favorite place to play. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that March 1st.
That's awesome. Yeah, well, we're happy to have you. We're glad to hear that. We're one of your favorite places. Definitely favorite place.
Yeah.
But
hmm
what projects you working on now, Ren? You got podcasts in the fire, or how's your Patreon doing? What's happening
Oh
there?
yeah. Well, I've been putting out 2 new songs a month on Patreon, which has been going really well. You can find that at bitsandrhymes.com or patreon.com/bitsandrhymes. Um, we did a song called Church with Kadesh Flow sampling Super Mario World, and it came out really, really cool.
Nice.
So what I've been doing lately is for people who want to hear video game based tracks from me, I put them into the Patreon. So for as little as $1 a month, you can come in there. You can get a brand new track plus instrumental plus a podcast like breakdown of the song. Where I tell you about how I wrote
Oh,
it,
cool.
how it came together, and so I make sure that those songs go there. But once in a while, there's one where I'm like, wow, this might have to leak out a little bit, and like I really like it. And I think it might go well in a live show, and I think that this track Church is kind of one of those. So I may wind up doing it like live just for a couple of shows on the next tour. But as far as music stuff, I've been doing a lot of collaborations lately. Me and Lars are working on a bunch of stuff, working on a Lit Hop album, which is going to be our favorite books, short stories, poems, graphic novels, all together. So yeah, I know he talked about the Watchmen song we're doing. We're gonna, of course, since Watchmen is a pretty deep crew, we're gonna get like all the vets of nerdcore
That is the
to
best,
join
man.
us on that song.
That's the best.
So yeah, that's gonna be a lot of fun.
And in your Rorschach, is that right? Did I remember that right?
Yes, I am. I'm Rorschach.
Nice. He's got to be easily the favorite. You got to
He's
say
my
more than
favorite.
Herm.
So
Herm.
right. So yeah, that's my favorite. So I was glad to land him in the story.
Yeah, he was talking last week too. That like the cool thing about comics and graphic novels and whatever, it's like they are becoming more accept. Like they're on like the New York Times like bestseller list with all the other books and stuff. So like that's
hmm
another thing that's kind of just
I
becoming.
love that, man. I feel like this is again a world that we kind of never imagined. We just had our little corner with comic book culture and video game culture, but now this stuff runs the world and it competes on a national and global level, which is amazing. Video game music is being like recognized at the Grammys and things, and like you said, graphic novels are on the bestseller list, and so it's a great time, But I still remember Layfield in '92, and and
Yeah.
all the X Factor and X Force books that I would run out and get, and just being so excited about a new cover or a hologram cover that
Oh
Marvel was
yeah! Oh
doing,
my
and
God, those were so.
all that amazing stuff. And I still remember that. And now to think like, man, this is now a thing that's everywhere. It's on our movie screens now. Like we're talking about finally getting, the proper comic book movies that we've always imagined are happening now. So it's a really great time for creatives, I think.
Oh, that's exactly what Lars said. Actually, he said it's a great time to be a nerd. That's.
Oh yeah, I would agree. I would agree.
What was your favorite like throwback like '90s sort of book, like a Jim Lee X-Men kind of thing, or like New Mutants, like you said? Like I
Oh
love
man,
that
I
stuff.
was I was so big into X Force. I
Oh
don't know
yeah,
why, but I
I don't know
loved
why either,
X
but me
Force.
too.
Yeah, like it wasn't. Now I look back, it probably wasn't the best story, but I think I kind of like X Force out of spite because all my friends were into X Men,
Hmm.
and I was just like, all right, I'm gonna find something else that I can like kind of put you guys onto. So it was that and Wildcats.
Oh, yeah.
Oh
and
yeah, Wildcats. Yeah.
yeah, and being able to have something different that I could show those guys and be like, well, you haven't seen this.
Yeah, it's like
You know?
you own it. It's like, that's mine. You know?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Well,
So
I think
yeah, I was
Cable
big
was
in that.
definitely a pretty popular. Cable was pretty popular, right? I mean, I knew a lot of people.
Yeah, people like Cable.
Yeah. And now he's going to be in the movie. He's going to be in the next Deadpool.
Yes, have they finally like now? It's crazy to imagine that these characters are finally hitting the big screen, you know. And did they say who's going to play Cable yet?
There was a rumor that it was Pierce Brosnan.
They teased. They had Ryan Reynolds and Pierce Brosnan like on a couch in a Twitter picture together, and they're like, did the hear no evil, see no evil like monkey thing, and they're like, maybe this means something. Teaser.
Very slick, very slick.
Yeah.
I was hoping for Kevin Nash. Not sure if you guys know who that is.
Oh,
but
the wrestler? Yeah. He's a big dude. He's like 6'10" or something.
he's got the white hair now. Like, he's in great shape. I mean, he's not a great actor, but I don't think you need a great actor to play Cable. But I don't know. I think he could pull
He was
it
in
off.
those
He's
Magic
so
Mike
big.
movies, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think so.
So, he's good
He
enough
was
for
Super
that.
Shredder. Like, Super Shredder can definitely play Cable. Come on.
Well, I'm sure it'll be funny, whoever it is. But,
Oh, yeah, it'd be great.
that's great.
Yeah, you guys lose me when you talk wrestling. It goes right over my head.
Oh, man.
He was in the Punisher movie,
fair.
too.
He was in Punisher.
He's been in a lot of stuff. Come on, Clay. You've seen this guy. I know you know.
All right.
You've seen him.
All right.
Really big guy.
Well, then they should just get Dolph Lundgren to do it because he was on air. Did like a couple of a couple stints on the latest series of Arrow.
Oh, my
Oh,
God.
Yeah,
yeah.
he would
they
actually
could
be
go
pretty
Dolph
good.
Lundgren. Yeah, that might not be a bad. I mean, but can he be funny though? Because it probably
Right.
has to be funny.
No,
You know,
he's a
so
little
I
too
guess-
serious.
Yeah, I think that's the only concern is like, can you have someone kind of roll with the punches and be silly?
And it's still like nobody knows who Cable is, right? Is he Scott Summers' son or clone from the future? That was always the best thing about like X-Force. It's like maybe he's Scott and Rachel Summers' son from an alternate timeline.
Right?
Who knows?
Yeah, he's like, you don't know. No one knows.
You'll never know.
Someday they'll release it. Come on. It's like Wolverine. They got to get the origin out there eventually.
And then if they do it like Wolverine, they'll do it 1,000 times.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is there anything else? We plugged the show. We plugged the Patreon. Don't worry. We'll put the link up for that definitely too.
Thanks.
What else?
Well, I think that's it. I'm not sure when this is coming out. I was going to talk about my Bandcamp sale. I had a Bandcamp sale going on this week. But,
Oh yeah, no, we'll get this out like tomorrow probably.
Oh, well, cool. Until the end of the weekend, we were doing a. I'll probably extend it to Monday for this. But
Alright, Try to get that.
but
out.
yeah, there's a 50% off sale going on Bandcamp. Bandcamp
Nice.
is giving their proceeds to the ACLU
Right on.
on Friday, and I thought that was an awesome cause. So I wanted to match that. So until I would say at least Monday or Tuesday,
All
we're
right.
giving our proceeds as well to the ACLU because I think it's the right thing to do, and it gives folks music and it gives them an easy opportunity to go on and make a difference in people's lives. So I
And
think that's
that
awesome.
Bandcamp Friday did really well. They raised a lot of money.
Yeah, I just saw they did like over like $1 million in a day.
In one
sales,
day.
which is amazing. Wow.
That's awesome. I had no idea. I would have bought something. Oh, jeez.
Well, go buy Mega Ran music.
I will now.
There
I
you go.
will. That's
There
right.
you go. It's at megaranmusic.com. You can get all my merch at megaranmerch.com. And you can get my podcast on wrestling at megaran.com/podcast. It's called Matt Mania.
All right.
I'm also working on a follow-up to that. We're doing a wrestling EP that will be out WrestleMania week, which is last weekend of March. And before that, if I can have it done by the tour, and I'm working feverishly to make it so, but I have an EP that I'm trying to finish up right before tour starts.
Oh, cool.
So hopefully people will hear some of that when I get to Boston.
You always have a ton of stuff at your merch table, and I'm always like going over there like, ooh, do I have that record? Do I have that? That's awesome.
I know. I feel like I worked too fast, so I wanted to slow down. So I realized last year was probably my slowest year as far as production, which made me happy. I felt like I didn't want to pile too many things on. I felt like random was like my defining work. So I just wanted to kind of have that be the newest thing. But then I did the wrestling EP in 2016. So that was it. That was the only thing I released in 2016. So I think that this year I'll probably do an EP or two and then start working on the next full-length album. Yeah. I used to think I had to do so much. Like content. You got to keep stuff out. These fans have very short attention spans. But, I think that isn't necessarily true. I think if you give the people something with some substance, the meat to it, that takes a little while to fully digest, then I think that's the way to go.
And everybody's getting a new song every month. I mean, that's no joke, man. I mean, that's
absolutely.
great.
You're getting a new song every month. So, and that's hard, as much as I tour, to be able to sit down and write a new song, produce, mix, master, and explain a new song every month is hard work. So I make sure that it's high quality stuff. So definitely check that out.
Well, we appreciate the hard work you do and look forward to seeing you in March. And as always, man, it's a great pleasure to have you on, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much. Come on again sometime. Well, Clay can sit there. You and I will talk wrestling.
Nice.
Yeah.
Keep up the great work. You guys are almost at 300, right?
Yeah, we're just getting there. But it's awesome to have you guys lined up as special guests right to the 300. So.
Nice. Thank you guys for having me and Lars. And so we'll see you out there.
Yeah, we'll see you, man. Thanks again.
Cool. Thanks for
anytime you want.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
Peace, man.
Thanks to Mega Ran for coming on. Definitely check out his Patreon and his Bandcamp and all his stuff. He's a very smart. I mean, we said the same thing about Lars last week, but I mean, really smart, articulate guy, teacher.
They're smart and they're super nice and they're genuine people. And, like I deal with musicians a lot. So it's like these guys are great, man. I never want to not do shows with them. Like they're just the best people to want to promote the stuff that they do and let people come and have a good time at their shows. It's so good.
Yeah, they seem really appreciative of you doing their shows. So yeah, it's great. Said he loves Boston.
No, he loves Boston.
All right, that's great.
And then we got PAX. PAX is coming up too. So on Monday the 13th of March, which is the day after PAX East, we have a big show with Proto Man and the other special guest that we had another time, MC Frontalot. And so that'll be a big show too. So these guys are all friends. They all know each other. It's great.
Yeah, no, it's great. They all run in the same circles.
And we're like, hey, you guys are cool. Yeah. We're like outside the circle.
We're kind of like looking in, but they know, they know who you are.
Yeah, they're like, you can come in and you can have some leftovers, but we're gonna have the main meal.
Of course, that's all right.
Yeah,
it's funny though. He was talking about how far all this stuff has come. When you think about, like PAX, just the idea that there's like when I was a kid playing Nintendo, I never would have thought that there would be something like this. It's crazy. Right. So.
And like that was back when a comic book convention was like in a hotel lobby and there was just people selling books.
Right. It was just retailers selling old stuff for like kind of a markup. Like, I mean, like they were definitely overpricing a lot of that. Like the comics were,
The closest thing that we have to anything that happens now is like maybe like a Star Trek convention. Like Star Trek conventions, like for years had people, they had the guests. They had George Takei.
Yeah, good segue.
And but they had people dressing up and people more of like a fan atmosphere. But now that's that same Star Trek. Maybe it started with Star Trek.
It kind of did.
Sort of pop culture things, gaming, comic books. All the Hollywood stuff. There's
conventions for like everything. Walking Dead.
Yeah.
That's funny if you've ever seen Trekkies. And
that was great.
Awesome, but they kind of explain like what happened the first Star Trek convention. There's a really funny line from George Takei, who we'll get to in a minute. But a bunch of Star Trek fans was getting together, and one of them said, "What if we pooled our money and paid for some of the cast to come and like hang out with?" And they were like, and there was a great line from George Takei where he said, like, "These people must be foolish."
right. Yeah.
But it's hilarious. Yeah, no, and look, here he is. We saw him the other night, and you had a meet and greet. That's awesome. I didn't know that.
Yeah, we had brought Stacy's mom down there for her birthday. It was like a birthday, Hanukkah, Christmas present.
Nice.
So we had down there and met Brad, met George, and it was very cool.
Wow. I can't believe he says he's going to be 80 in a few months.
In a few months, yeah.
He looks great.
Yeah, he looks great. He was super, cordial, and Stacy's mom has, been watching Star Trek for longer than we have. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
She was like, oh, I just, she was over the moon, excited about it.
That's great. Yeah, they said he was talking about 50 years of Star Trek. So I guess 51 now, right? That was last year.
Yeah, right.
Pretty awesome. And
so yeah, tell them what we did. What it was.
Oh yeah, it was it was a screening of Wrath of Khan, and then a little Q&A with George Takei afterwards
At the Huang.
At the Huang, yes.
Now, when we first got there, I was pretty convinced I wasn't going to be able to sit in those seats for 2 hours or however long the movie was. But then, because my knees were like right up against the next row, because that place is old, man. Like,
yeah, it's made for really short people.
Short people from like 1910.
Yeah, people were just shorter then.
But then I totally got, and not like I would ever get bored in Star Trek 2. I love that movie, but I was completely compelled. I didn't need to get up and go to the bathroom or anything. Like that's what my fear was. I was like, I'm gonna have to get up, and I'm not gonna want to sit back down. Like because we're really cramped in there.
I know. No, I know. You got up though. You did get up for a minute, and that's when I wish they gave us like a quick little 5-minute intermission between the movie and the Q&A.
Yeah, that would have made sense because the movie is however long it is, an hour and a half maybe.
It's probably close to 2. I don't know. It goes pretty quick. You don't really know. It does go
quick. That was kind of like my point. It was like I know like every line in that movie. It's probably my favorite Star Trek movie. It's got to be in my top 10 favorite movies ever. Like it just.
It's really it's definitely one of my favorite movies.
I like 4. Like we've seen 4 together. The movie here, but like for different sort of reasons. Like I wouldn't put that in my top 10 movies. But like
it's fun. It's kind of more of a fun.
It's
movie.
Just fun, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. My legs were really hurting by the end. I'll say that. But I wasn't. It's not that I wasn't enjoying it, but I was like, oh my god, my legs are. I'm in such pain. Like. But it was pretty funny. I would say, my only complaint, if they had given us a 5-minute intermission to get up, stretch your legs a little bit, and then come back and we'll have George Takei. The guy just came right out. I was like, okay. I was like, oh no, they're not.
I thought they were introducing like a comedian for like a warm-up spot.
Yeah, no, that was the host. I have to say one funny thing though, and that guy was fine. He was great. I don't even remember his name, but he didn't seem to know a lot about Star Trek.
Yeah, he was... DeFrost Kelly.
Yeah, DeFrost Kelly. And he said, "Do hand."
Jimmy, do it.
Yeah, he's like, "Do it." Yeah, I know.
He'd always say, "What are you doing?"
I know he was nice about it, but I was like, "Do hand? What the hell, man?"
Well, how many of those things do you think he's had to do in his life? You know what I mean?
Oh, I know. Your favorite episode? I mean, come on. Like, how many thousands of times has he answered that question? And so he has his pat answer. I like it. It's like the one where Sulu takes his shirt off.
Yeah, because he goes mad.
Right, and he has like a sword fight or whatever. I haven't seen too. I mean, I have to admit, I haven't watched all the original Star Trek episodes.
I started a little Netflix project a a couple months ago. I haven't gotten very far. I'm probably on episode 6, where I'm gonna watch all of the Star Trek from the beginning to the end.
Oh my god! Like you mean like every series, like
Yeah, so
Discovery?
just instead of like watching like a random episode, I'll just like start with the original series and like watch an episode there. It's more like a long term goal instead of
Right.
like I'm gonna cram this all in. But I'm just gonna watch. If I want to watch Star Trek, I'll watch the next one.
Oh, there you go. But I mean, you're gonna go through Next Generation and everything. You're gonna do it
All
all.
of them, all of them.
Wow, that is gonna take a while.
Oh yeah,
But
Enterprise too, and all the movies.
and then they're gonna have this new one coming out soon, right?
Yeah. Oh well. Yeah. That the weird thing about that is like you have to have some special app on your TV or something
gotta
to
get
watch it. Unless
PBS.
you can watch it. I'm deleting or not including the most obvious thing, which is just watch it when it's on TV. Or
Yeah, I don't know how that's gonna work.
I don't have a DVR, but people have DVRs. I could probably DVR it, but I have all the apps. I don't have a cable.
Well,
or
you might have to. This is like an experiment. I think it's kind of like Sirius XM. Like how will Star Trek fans pay? Because I think you have to pay. I don't know. I don't think it's free. I could be wrong, but will people?
No, it is. Yeah, you have to pay for it.
Right. So like will Star Trek fans, because we know how devoted they are. So this is how they're gonna try to sell this as like an app. So you can, or whatever network it is, I forget.
CBS.
Yeah,
But
it
they'll
is
probably have all of the like the things that are on Netflix now. Like they'll probably have all the movies and other TV shows, so you can watch the old stuff too. But
I don't know. I guess if they have the rights to it, then
yeah,
then they can do it. I haven't read that much into it, but I did hear, that's like a thing that they're doing, try to sell this new app. So I mean, we'll see. It's kind of like, I mean, HBO and stuff like that have it. So
or Hulu, Netflix.
right, yeah. So now
But the CW does it like in a way that's I like because it's free. They don't have any of their like Flash or Arrow like on Netflix or it's on Netflix, but not on Hulu to like watch it the next day. You can just watch it on the CW app, which is free.
well, that's pretty good. That's free, but I don't know. It may not be free forever.
And and it's got Riverdale on there too, which I watched.
Oh, have you watched any of that?
Yeah, I'm like way into it.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't necessarily know that you'll be into it. Like, I don't know if you'd like it, but it's kind
This
of
is
like
the Archie. For anyone who doesn't know what we're talking about, this is like the Archie show.
yeah, but
right?
it's very much Archie, Jughead, Betty Veronica, but it's set almost like a Mean Girls / Twin Peaks kind of 90210 kind of thing. It's like a teenager show.
I gotta admit, though, I do like 90210, or I did, I should say.
Oh, Luke Perry's on it playing Archie's dad.
What?
Yeah. As a very deliberate casting choice, very deliberate.
Oh, of course.
You liked
They call it
90210?
stunt casting.
Yeah. Oh, for
That's
sure.
awesome.
And there's a murder mystery that is literally somebody. It's just like Laura Palmer. Like somebody's found like one of the high school star quarterback is found murdered down by the river. So they're trying to figure out like the mystery of that. Hopefully it's not Bob. Hope it's not Bob.
Well, that's pretty awesome, though. I mean, I don't know. I saw it, and I was like, oh, this will probably be silly, but I don't know. Hey,
I
like
can tell you I know who's going to like it, and that's Josh Lingle.
oh, okay.
Because I know he loves like the Vampire Diaries and like all the CW like shows,
He does, yes.
So
That's true.
it's if you're into that sort of thing, which I am, and I know Josh is.
And if you're listening, Josh, which you're probably not, but
highly recommend it. I bet he's seen it already. We'll see.
he probably has. That's true. He'll probably get the CW app
Oh yeah.
or whatever app it is, just so he can watch it. That's cool. I saw it, and then here's stupid me. This is my first reaction. Oh, now I can sell those Archie comics. how I look at this.
Maybe. I mean, what Archie comics do you have? Are they like really old?
I mean, no, the recent ones, the Mark Waid ones.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, that was just
that is a good call. You could probably sell your number ones.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna do that. But I'm not just kidding. I'm totally serious.
Just kidding. Not kidding.
But anyways, yeah. So I forget. I guess that was it. I was going to talk about George Takei, but anyway, I think we said everything. He was awesome. If he comes to your town, check him out.
I guess he has this stage play called Allegiance about Japanese internment camps that's going to be restarting another Broadway run, and he's thinking about putting together a touring company. So we will.
And they're doing a special air, like like a video of the performance on what day is that? I forget. Like it's a day.
It's a Remembrance Day for that.
Yeah,
not the
World
Remembrance
Day
just passed was for the Holocaust, and it's coming up about the Japanese internment camp Remembrance Day. So
yeah,
very cool, very politically active.
In the crowd like cheered when he talked about Japanese Americans being put in internment camps. Someone was like, "Whoa!"
I think they kind of didn't. I don't think they were cheering that. They were cheering his activism, but it came out wrong. And I'm sure they looked at their friend and was like,
he said they rounded up all the Japanese Americans, and the guy was like, "Whoa!"
I know that. I think that he was probably everybody around him probably looked at him and he was like, "Oh, I was cheering him, not."
Yeah, I know he wasn't cheering for. I mean, probably wasn't. It just came out funny. Some of the fans would just yell things. It was. I don't know. These must be more the Stern type, like the Howard Stern fans or something. But I don't know. I paid to see George, but whatever. I'm not. I know it sounds like I'm complaining. It was a really fun night. But yeah, there were a couple of funny guys. Someone just yelled. They were talking about Donald Trump, and someone just said, "It's un-American." It's like, okay, yeah.
Baba Booey.
Yeah, it's great. It's like, okay, yeah.
Come
Baba Booey. But whatever, it was a good time. So what else did you want to talk about? We still got time. Did you have any books you want to?
Yeah, we should have guests on more often. Then we don't have to talk about comics as much. But I did read some comics. I was going to put at the top of the stack 2 books that I don't think that you would put at the top of the stack. But I've got Darth Maul right here and Bullseye #1.
Oh, you bought that? Oh,
yeah,
man.
and it was really good.
What? Okay. You can talk about it. I flipped through it and I was like, ooh, I don't think I want to spend money on Bullseye. But I don't know. We can talk about it. Hey, I did buy Darth Maul and I did like it. It was good. But tell me about Bullseye. Maybe I'll buy it this week.
This is more like it's more like a crime book than it is just about him being a badass dude. It's almost like a crime espionage book because he's a bad guy that's going out there to fulfill contracts for gangsters and stuff. So it kind of has a little bit of a Batman Year One sort of vibe to the artwork, which I thought was cool. And he's definitely not acting like a hero or anything, but it does show his adventures of him going out on one of his contracts. And the backup story was written by none other than Marv Wolfman.
Oh, all right.
And that's just a little one-off. And he's captured by these badass gangsters, and over some information that he has on a thumb drive, which he keeps in his glove, taped to his thumb. And
literally?
Yeah.
Huh.
He's like,
so
and then so they've beaten him up and they're like, give us the information, basically. And then the classic Bullseye way, he flicks the thumb drive into his captor's head and just kills him. right in the old spot. Now, here's something that you may or may not like about the character design. When he has his mask off, he has the Colin Farrell scar of a bullseye on his head.
They did that in the comic a few years ago, when I think around the time the movie came out, and I thought that was a kind of
Well, they
dumb.
decided to go all in on that. They kept it.
Oh, what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? But this is also like a parental advisory book, like the Punisher, like it's almost a Max kind of book.
Oh,
It's
okay.
like very bloody and stuff. It has nothing to do with Daredevil at all yet.
Well, are they building up towards like some kind of? Because like the ads for this just say like "running with the devil" or whatever.
I know.
Fancy line or what? But because they have Elektra, Kingpin, and Bullseye all getting their own little books here, so.
Yeah, maybe it's gonna come back around to having those guys team up against Daredevil. But I'm actually digging it. Yeah, I guess a best way to describe that would be as if he was like a bad guy and this was a Punisher book.
All right, that's cool.
It's a decent Punisher story starring Bullseye.
All right, maybe I'll check it out then. Who knows?
I picked it up on a lark. I know I was making fun of it, the whole idea of it, but I'm probably not going to buy Kingpin or Elektra. Maybe I'll buy Kingpin just to see what they.
Yeah, I was thinking of the three. The Bullseye would be the one I wouldn't get, and I would maybe check out Elektra and Kingpin, but only because I like them on the show. You know what I mean? Like, there's no guarantee that the comic would be good, but I was like, oh, I really like. Obviously, Kingpin is awesome on the Netflix show, and I really liked Elektra. I thought she was a great character. So.
Well, if you're gonna get those other ones, I'll get them too. We'll
don't let me.
No, because I think we can compare notes.
All right. I mean, I'll give them a try. If I don't like the first issue, then
try. I gave this a try. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna pick it. I'm gonna boff it.
You're gonna boff it. All right. So we both bought Darth Maul, so we can compare notes on that one.
I mean, Darth Maul is easily one of my favorite Sith Lords. He's right up there. You know. He's cool. Ray Park, who's the same guy that plays Snake Eyes, played him in the movie.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't have a lot of screen time, but neither did Boba Fett.
Well, yeah, I remember you said that in your Picks of the Week thing. It's something about the Star Wars universe. The less screen time you have, the more popular you become.
Greedo, right?
Do people like Greedo?
People like Greedo because they're mad that, Lucas fucked it up.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah,
but then he came out and said, "Oh no, Han shot right." Didn't he like kind of renege on it or something, or somebody did? I don't know.
Somebody did. Who knows?
Whatever. But okay, yeah. So, but Darth Maul. No, I thought this would be cool. So the thing that I kind of it's a good book, but the one thing I was like, oh, this is so like Frank Miller Batman with him talking to himself in this sort of. Dark, sort of like, I'm Darth Maul. Like, he even says that in one point. And then he's kind of like, I'm tired of. Well, anyway, the plot is he's tired of sitting around because Darth Sidious, who is, of course, the Emperor,
spoilers,
is pulling all the strings. Yeah. He's pulling all the strings, like doing slow-mo.
You didn't do a spoiler warning before that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I know. Darth Sidious is the Emperor. Movie came out 10 years ago, or more, whatever, more than that. But so this is obviously before Phantom Menace, and he's pulling all the strings like to bring down the Republic, but Darth Maul is getting a little bored. He's like, I want to kick some ass.
Yeah, I got this cool double-ended sword, laser sword. I want to cut somebody in half with it.
They do a cool. So he's hunting Raftars, which are the same things that Han Solo was transporting.
Yeah, that was like one of the most clever like ties from prequel times to like modern movies, because these comics are supposedly in continuity. So
yeah,
very cool.
It's funny. There's not the comics do sort of bring together the prequels and the originals, or whatever you call them. They like a lot more than anything else. I find it funny that like Battlefront has no prequel mentions at all. There's nothing in there even
Oh,
vague.
right. Yeah.
There's everything you can imagine. There's even Rogue One stuff,
Yep.
but nothing mentioning the
Nothing.
prequel. So I'm not complaining, but I'm just saying. So, anyways, it's good though that they. I mean, it's just a creature, you know. But obviously, it's a creature that's been around for a while, and it's cool. So Darth Maul but anyway, he finds this sort of there's like these Jedi, right? That he
Who are those Jedi?
Yeah.
Do we know?
No, I don't know who they are. I think they were just nameless Jedi. And
Aren't
then
they all?
Well, they all have kind of goofy names.
No, they all do have names. You're right.
But they're kind of like Shing Ta Tu or whatever. Yeah. But anyway, he gets he wants to go on a little adventure. So that's what he's doing. But the Emperor doesn't know. He's kind of going behind his master's back. So whatever. It's good. The art is good. I actually like the art quite a bit.
And Colin Bunn is I'm a big fan of his, especially he did a run on Venom, which I really enjoyed for a long time. So he's a good dude. He's a good comic book writer, and they give him a lot of stuff, and a lot of stuff that's a little bit on the fringe, almost horror. Like, not saying Darth Maul is horror, but he does like the monsters books for Marvel, and he did Venom for a while, and
right.
No, he's good.
Yeah, no, it's good. This is good because Darth Maul, I feel like, unless you count, I didn't read any books or anything, and like we know, those aren't canon. So
yeah,
it's like a blank slate. You can kind of, you know what I mean? There's nothing really that you have to. We know when he gets killed. Well, then they brought him back on the Clone Wars, I guess, or whatever. But
I get which is canon. So doesn't he have robot legs or something?
I think so. Yeah. But I mean, as far as his origin and his history, anything before that, we don't know. So you kind of have a blank canvas, and you can do whatever you want. So
and the thing I like about Darth Maul is he looks cool. He's like probably one of the coolest looking Star Wars characters.
Oh, definitely. He's got to be like just the cool look. Yeah, I mean, he's got to be the coolest looking with the red face and the horns and
Like I was kind of hoping that like Kylo Ren, even though I mean he doesn't have like a disfigured face or something, but like when they had like when they're like doing like a villain for the new movies, like I was kind of hoping there would be like a cool like Darth Maul looking guy or like something.
Yeah,
you know.
I thought instead of the weird dude from Girls.
Instead of the weird dude from Girls, yeah.
Who like that was one of my big criticisms was that he was the least menacing villain you could possibly imagine.
Yeah, but I feel like that's maybe part of his character too. Like he's so not menacing, but he's like so wants it that he goes so to the dark side of the force because he's like a punk kid that's like got something to prove. He's like,
yeah, no, you're right, and we'll see. I'm willing to wait and see. But when he took off that,
he's gonna be scarred up in the next one. You know, like kind of.
I hope so.
Rebuilt.
Yeah, because Ray did like slash his face.
Yeah.
So maybe just keep the mask on. That's the. One other thing I want to talk about, and I know that you're not really buying this, but I did buy something else. I bought All New X-Men.
Okay.
Number 18.
Very well.
So I know nobody cares about this. But here's the deal. So they're doing this X-Men versus Inhumans thing.
Yeah.
And there's like a big fight between them because the mutants are all going to die out from this Terrigen mist, which is all they talk about in every Marvel book. But that's
for like 5 years or something now.
Yeah, they've been talking about a long time. But anyway, that's the thing that gives Inhumans their powers, but apparently it kills mutants. So
how convenient for copyright reasons.
So mutants are like, we want to destroy this thing, and the humans are like, no, you can't do that because it's ours and we like it. So, and like there was a big controversy apparently a couple years ago, which I didn't read this because nobody cares about the Inhumans. Wink, wink, Marvel. Just if you're listening, but you're not. So, but Cyclops, like old Cyclops, was like supposedly destroyed this Terrigen cloud and like killed a bunch of Inhumans, and everybody was pissed at him, and then he died. So, but there was more to it than that. So, yeah. Anyway, but before I get to that, so young Cyclops, who was the all new X-Men, like teenage Cyclops brought to the future, which they did a while ago. He was all like, "Oh man, I'm going to become this guy that everybody hates." Right. So he was wrestling with this guilt for all his time, and then this issue, he finds out that it was all a lie. Cyclops didn't do that. He was already dead when that happened. But Emma Frost wanted someone to like. He wanted people to have someone to blame, and she thought it would be cool because like here's this guy, he's standing up for mutant kind. So she like just used her mental telepathic powers there to make everyone believe that Cyclops did that, but even though he didn't, he was already dead. So like young Cyclops is like, fuck you, Emma.
Right.
So like that's gonna be his quest now, to like, I guess, get the truth out there, and I don't know.
Well, the
Shoot
truth is
Emma
out there.
Frost right in the ass.
Whoa.
So I know that we never talk about it, but it's the one X-Men book that I buy, and I like it. It's fun. The teenage X-Men, it's pretty fun.
I definitely like those characters. When they started with when Bendis brought them back, and I did like that first run. I know it's like 7 seasons ago that happened or whatever, but I like those characters.
Well, I like the idea because when I first started reading X-Men when I was like 10. That's kind of what it was like, like it was like they would have adventures, but it wasn't super serious. It wasn't like, I mean, there was serious enough because like people still hated mutants back then, and so there was always that undertone.
They're always afraid of them.
Yeah, and they would sometimes like beat up. Like there was an episode where Charles Xavier just got beat up. Charles Xavier. So, anyways, like there was that, but it was a little bit lighter. I mean, they were younger, and it was just kind of like it was just a fun book, 10-year-old me really liked the X-Men, and then they've gone so far since then, and it's just like way out of whack. But this book kind of gets back to that, so that's what I really like about it. But now I think they're going to change everything again because I've been seeing ads for this X-Men Prime.
X-Men Prime, and then also in
stole that from us.
Right.
I think that's your line.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, those bastards. But yeah, Inhumans Prime and X-Men Prime. Although the art looks really good on that too.
And Mark Guggenheim's going to write the X-Men Prime, and he's great. Yeah.
Yeah, he is great. That's true. So I mean, I might have to boff that one. I don't know. We'll see. But
it's a new #1. Might as well give it a shot.
Right. Although I can't even sell the code now. This was the first week that was not happening. Did you? I don't know if you noticed.
I saw a code.
The code in the books is for Captain Marvel #6, Wolverine #66, which is the first appearance of Old Man Logan, and like Civil War #1 or something, or Civil War II #1, I guess, or something. So 3 books, but 3 books that are not really current, and I don't know, like whatever.
And the offer expires 1 year from now.
Right.
To 1/18.
The book will be even older. I mean, when did that Old Man Logan thing come out? That was years ago.
Yeah, Mark Miller. So first issues of Civil War II, Captain Marvel 2, and Wolverine Old Man Logan, which is like 1,000 years old.
Yeah.
Huh.
Whatever. I mean...
But you get 3 issues? I mean, that's not so bad, but then you have to buy the rest of the book.
Right. Well, that's what they want you to do. They want you to sort of, buy the rest, buy the trade. Oh, whatever. I mean, that's the way it is.
Or they want you to buy Marvel Unlimited.
Yeah, I suppose.
Which I almost kind of want to do, but then every time I think of it, I'm like, nah.
So how much? What is it? Like $10 a month or something?
Yeah.
And you can just read any Marvel book ever, or how does it work?
It's like even like recent stuff is up there, but like not like the most recent, so it might go back like 6 months or there's some sort of cutoff on it. But you can read a lot of stuff.
Huh.
If you wanted to read instead of like buying like the essentials, you know, like if you wanted to read
Right.
like the Dark Phoenix saga or something, like I think it would probably be worth it. Like if you really just had a lot of time on your hands and wanted to read Marvel comics, like catch up on the history, you know.
Well, yeah, and if you were someone who doesn't want to necessarily go every week, like to this, but you do want to read once in a while, I suppose it's a good idea. Like if you don't need to know what's going on right now, but you kind of want to like, well, yeah, I feel like reading.
Yeah, like when it's all said
Whatever.
and done, just like with Secret Wars, like I want to read Civil War 2, but I don't want to keep up with it now.
Yeah, it finally ended, so
Yeah. So
yeah.
that whenever that lapses, or like whenever they have the first Civil War 2 trade sale on Comixology, I'll buy all the issues for $1. You know?
Right. I suppose it is, or if you like were like, oh, like season 2 of Jessica Jones is coming up. I want to see what's going on in her comic, like or whatever, or I want to go back and read Alias. I suppose Marvel Unlimited would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it depends on the kind of fan you are, you know.
Right. And if you maybe you're the kind of guy that only reads Marvel comics,
Yeah.
and you don't read like any Batman or any independent comics at all, then it's definitely worth it. Because why would you need to be like exactly caught up to the minute
Right.
when stuff from 2016 is up there? I'd say that's pretty recent, you know?
Yeah. No, I mean, I could definitely see that. I mean, you and I like to go to the store every week.
Yeah, that's part of our thing.
Yeah, it's part of our thing.
And if I don't go on a Wednesday, I'll like definitely go Thursday. And if I don't get that day, then like I make a special trip on my day off to just go to the comic book store. Like I enjoy going to the store because my friends are there, and
Right.
and I say,
No,
I missed you on Wednesday or whatever. You know what I mean?
I know. Well, that's why sometimes I don't like to go on Saturday. I'm afraid I won't see the people I like. Like sometimes they switch it up,
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I can't say hi to my friends. But yeah, no, I mean it's part of the ritual. Like if I don't get to go on Wednesday, I kind of feel weird.
Yeah, I feel a little weird too, but
Like,
they're
oh.
also like open late on Thursday. It's just schedules and stuff get in the way. But
No, it happens, but it's a weird week when I don't just go like, nah, I'm gonna skip. You know what I mean? Like it's just,
it's got to be
whatever.
a good reason why you're not going. Like, yeah,
Right. There's a definite reason to not go to the store. So, but I mean that's us, and there are definitely fans out there who are like, oh, I'll just pick something up, when I feel like it, and whatever. Or maybe someone like Josh who just doesn't have time anymore. Like maybe someone like Marvel Unlimited, even though he's always been a DC guy.
Yeah.
But he reads some Marvel. Maybe it's something, for people like him. I don't know. It's good that they have it. I'll say that anyway.
It is good. Now I feel like it's a really, as much as like this code thing is like changing things up. I really do feel like the Marvel Unlimited is a good deal. Like for the access of stuff you get to watch, or
Right.
read on there.
It's definitely better. I mean, I guess codes were cool if you wanted to read a book, but you didn't want to have like clutter in your home. I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know. That's definitely, maybe I'll look into it. Who knows? I got all these other things. I get Netflix and all that stuff, so might as well.
You're gonna have to buy the CBS app to watch Star Trek. So
Well, I'm sure there'll be a way, right?
there's always a way.
I know. I'm sure you'll find a way.
Maybe I will. That's all I have to do is find a way.
Hey, I did hear this. Speaking of the Star Trek show, not that you watch The Walking Dead that much, but Shaniqua Martin Green, who plays Sasha, is a regular on Star Trek. So there's speculation that she might be killed off on The Walking. Sorry if that's a spoiler, but I mean, I don't know. I'm just reporting on the speculation.
Very good.
Very well.
So I'm so excited to see like a new bridge and stuff. Like they release like casting news and here's the logo. But like when they start showing the actual show, we'll be so excited.
What era is this supposed to be in? Do you know? When it's taking place?
I think it's supposed to be original series era as opposed to like Next Generation future.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
It's like Kirk times, but I mean, is it pre-Kirk or post?
I think it's concurrent with Kirk.
All right. Concurrent.
But it's supposedly they're not going to even really mention or like cross over with the movie at all.
Oh, all right. Like the movie, the Pine.
The newest movies.
Right. Interesting. Well, I mean, I'll check it out. Because, like, the first couple episodes will air on the network, and then they go to the app, right? Isn't that the plan?
I think so, yeah.
All right, well, yeah, check out all of that stuff. Check out all the Mega Ran stuff. Thanks to him for coming on. Check out everything on our website, LeaguePodcast.com. Check out his show! Him and MC Lars and Big O. Great Scott, March 1st. Thanks, Clay.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks to Lars for coming on last week, and thanks obviously to Raheem, aka Mega Ran, for coming on today. Really appreciate you guys coming on the show, and yeah, that's how we do it. Wrestling, comics, video games. It's all a great time to be a nerd.
That's right. It's never been a better time to be a nerd. And yeah, now hopefully I'm gonna go watch the Super Bowl pretty soon, so I gotta clean my house.
Very well.
Over, so
go team.
Go sports. Right.
Go team.
Go Patriots. We root for the Patriots here. I know nobody else likes them in the country, but we do.
We do.
Yeah.
And some of us have had 41 years of not caring about it at all.
It's impressive.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, good job.
Work on another 42nd year of apathy toward football.
Well,
but hey, I don't begrudge anybody being into any sort of fandom, whether it be sports or video games or anything, because that would be really hypocritical of me to say anything bad about people that like football. So I hope you enjoy your game and your comic books and whatever it is that makes you happy.
Well, that's what we like about you, Clay. You don't begrudge anybody anything.
I'm not a begrudger.
Not a begrudger, no.
Not a big begrudger.
No, you're all right. Well, have a good one, Clay.
Later,
everybody.
Yo, we make it bubble, man. I don't want no trouble, man. I'm just here to flow it, make it rock like a Nuggets fan. Heard you sold a couple grand, dog, I'm still struggling. Yes, I got a couple fans, got a lot of love for them. Gotta make it tough for them. Brothers just don't understand. That's the life of Brother Rain. Microphone in one hand, conscious on the other hand, telling me to love a man. But the fans wanna jam, hooked up some Mega Man, but we ain't a cover band. 80s babies understand, it's part of the culture, fam. I ain't gonna insult you, man. Batman, medallions, gazelle shades. I love it, man, like we made a covenant. But don't tell the government. Capcom suit around, probably couldn't cover it. Free 99, hope the whole world discover it. But you ain't selling it, nah, it's for the hell of it. Let the world know Mega Rank still relevant. What?
Custom arm cannon. Oh, that would be